our next presenters, we have three folks from the City Studio, Stefan, Martina, and Kathleen. If you guys would come up here, that would be great. Awesome. And they're going to have an introduction video so you guys can see what they're about, or what City Studio is about. And just to let you guys know that I'm going to have these time cards here, and I'll just show them to you, 2 minutes and 5 minutes. Cool. Thank you.
City Studio loves the Green City goals.
City Studio is about collaboration, co-laboring together.
City Studio teaches us that no policy is perfect.
City Studio is navigating. City Studio polishes through friction.
Here at City Studio, we eat really well.
City Studio is where I find a direction for my efforts. It's where I can help create a community.
City Studio embraces messiness. City Studio loves problem solving.
City Studio brings everyone to the table.
City Studio loves Vancouver.
Thank you, everybody. As you can see, that video is entitled A Day in the Life of a City Studio Student. And as I'm sure you noticed, our day in the life is not so much like most other students. So yeah, we've got quite a few stories for you today, actually. So we're just going to show you, tell you a few of our stories. And we're going to start with kind of telling the story of the whole core course, because there's, as you heard, there's 200 students that are part of City Studio this term. And then we're representing, myself, Stefan, and Kathleen, and Martina are just representing the core, which is the 20 students that are in there 5 days a week from 9:30 to 5 every day. And so, yeah, so we have a very unusual classroom. Here's us accessing nature in our first week. That's all 20 of us up on Cypress Mountain, kind of getting to know each other on the first day. And we learn mostly through dialogue, which is what we're doing here. This is how we get our knowledge instead of through the normal lecture format. We sit in a circle and we talk. We bring thought leaders in and we converse with them about nature, access to nature, and all sorts of broad range of topics. And this is how we explored access to nature as a group together. We put all our ideas up on a wall and we started grouping things and moving things around and trying to group it in a logical manner. And here's kind of where we ended up. This was a public dialogue we had a couple weeks ago where we had the public involved and we had residents and staff and students together talking about a broad range of access to nature topics. And so just quickly, I'm going to summarize my group project, because we worked on projects that contributed to the Green City goals. My group project is called Van Bird City, and what it is a support program for birds in the city. So we kind of tried to get to access to nature from the side by looking at birds. because birds are an important indicator of ecological health and social health. Here are my group mates acting like birds. We really delved into this, and we really lived through the birds, and we chose not to become, well, we chose to become experts, but we didn't start out experts. We went out and we spoke to all sorts of researchers and the birding community, and just anybody who wanted to talk to us. We wanted to talk to them about birds and how we could relate to birds in a whole broad range of ways. And so we came up with this kind of map as a way of viewing birds in the city through the help of all of our stakeholders that we spoke to, habitat, engagement, enterprise, and hazards. And we started kind of looking at how do birds relate to the city, and how do the birds work with the city, and what can we do in the city of Vancouver to be more bird friendly. And so we looked at a lot of greening and also and habitat protection, but also how people could get more excited about birds. And so we came up with a list of opportunities, and this is my individual project, which is one of the opportunities, looking at choosing an official city bird. So I put out just this brief straw poll at a few events, and here you see the dots, it's Dotmocracy, of which kind of bird was the most popular, and it turned out to be the northern flicker. But what was really amazing about this is that everybody had an opinion, everybody had a story, everybody really wanted to relate to the birds, and so it was kind of a really interesting way of connecting with access to nature through birds.
So my project was community conversations. So what my group and I did is we worked in the Mount Pleasant community area, and we worked under mentorship of Lindsay Cole. And what we want to do is to get the opinions of residents in the areas. So we want to see, where do people want more trees? Where do people want more food assets? And where did people want mini parks? So what we did is we went to community centers, we went to the neighborhood houses and talked to people and got their approach. We talked to them one-on-one, saw what they're interested in, and then we created a public consultation on March 26th. And we had about 50 people come out, and then as you see around the areas, there's certain maps. We mapped out with dots, where do people want more of these assets? And there was a lot of interest, and as you see here are the maps that I was talking about. So we got all different feedback about the food assets and streets to trees, and here is us showing the mayor all the different work that we did. And from this, we actually got a lot of really positive feedback, because most people said that a lot of the city, they make decisions without consulting people. So it was a great opportunity for people to actually get feedback. And we documented all this feedback, and it's going to the Vancouver Parks. Yeah. So this is at the SALT building. This is just us working on the project at the studio.
They're timed for 20 seconds.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just having fun.
Okay, so one dialogue session, Sadhu Johnson came and he told us that he wanted one group to work on transforming abandoned spaces in Vancouver. And so Sadhu's face should be in there instead. So we took on this project, and 2 days into jumping right in, one of our professors told us that we need to find a space that day. And we did not take that approach. Rather, we worked with Andrew Pask, who is the community planner for the Grandview Woodlands area. And we did two things. We mapped all the orphan spaces in the Grandview Woodlands area, as well as transformed a space. So in regards to mapping, we looked at city-owned spaces, private spaces, and projects with potential. So could these spaces become, for example, more community gardens or parks, or could they become farmers markets? So after mapping, we came across this space, and it's a pork chop on Adidak and Commercial. And we fell in love with it, and this is what we wanted to transform. Luck would have it that after we chose the space, the engineering department was already working on it. So this space on the right, this street, is actually going to be filled in, and it's going to become a parkette. But all they were doing was putting in 3 trees. And so we're like, well, why don't we help out? And one of our visions was to actually build a frame. And with the help of the Parks Board, with the help of the fabrication, we're building a frame that frames the mountain corridor. So people think differently about the space. And as well, with the gracious support of the Parks Board, we got 2 benches, and with Greening Streets, we got the plants. But then who cares? Like, if this is not what the community wants, then why does it matter? But we actually did facilitate 2 community conversations. And one of them was with the Lions Den across the street. And they were very supportive about our frame idea, which we thought would actually have some resilience, as well as their main concern was seating. So we were really lucky to get those benches. And everything should be installed within the next week.
So thanks again, everybody. Here's the rest of our crew. This was the topics that we talked about at the event. And if you're curious to know more about our projects, you can go look up City Studio on the web. There's a lot of information there on the web, or you can come talk to us at any point in time during the evening. Thank you.